Welcome back, students. In today's session, we are going to discuss the most popular query attracting all of us pertaining to cloud computing. That is, which are the top public cloud providers and their comparison in terms of growth, revenue, and market share. Talking about public cloud, which comprises a broad range of products and services related to cloud, including infrastructure as a service, software as a service, and platform as a service. Students, as per the Gartner forecast, worldwide public cloud revenue to grow 17% in 2020. Talking about statistics, it might be 267 billion from 227.8 billion in 2019. Approximately 40 billion growth as compared to 2019. Public cloud market, which is majorly dominated by Amazon, Microsoft, Alibaba, Google, and IBM, where experts predict that these cloud service provider basically compete only from one another and are not likely to be replaced by any other cloud service provider in the near future at least. And the reason behind it is that competing in the public cloud needs very heavy infrastructure as well as latest technology talent to support the underlying infrastructure. Amazon Web Services has been leading the public cloud market since it started its service in 2006. Amazon is the number one public cloud provider, holding 47.8% share in the infrastructure as a service market in 2018. Whereas the other cloud service providers such as Microsoft, Alibaba, Google, and IBM hold 15.5, 7.7, 4.0, and 1.8 respectively. However, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google provide similar storage solution, but there are a number of differences in features and pricing of their public cloud services, which basically set them apart from the others. Being a big fish in the market, this cloud service provider usually either drop the price of the cloud instance, they offer discount, drop bills, or billing increments, or even provide per cycle billing options to stay ahead from each other. Students, if you compare the market share of Amazon in 2017, which is 49.4%, and which gradually decreases to 47.8% in 2018. So you can see there is a small drop in the market share of Amazon cloud service provider. Whereas if we talk about Microsoft, under the leadership of CEO Satya, this there is a sharp increase in the market share growth, which is 12.7% in 2017, and it increases to 15.5% in 2018. So you can see if we talk about there is a growth of 60.9%. Students, the purpose of this study is to illustrate the vast range of services which is available and the names given to them. As you can see in this comparison, we have picked the topmost cloud service provider, that is AWS, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, Google, and IBM. And on the left hand side, you can see these are the top building blocks for cloud service providers such as compute, storage, backup and disaster recovery, database and data warehouse, in memory technology, containers, serverless analytics, and artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. So these are the building blocks of uh, cloud computing. And in this column, you can see the name given to this by that cloud service provider. So for compute, for by Amazon Web Service, it is known as EC2. By Microsoft Azure, it is known as virtual machines. From Google, it is known as compute engine or app engines. Whereas in IBM, it is known as bare metal, servers, virtual servers, and Power 8. Similarly for storage, similarly for backup. So you can see Amazon Web Services are list providing the backup or disaster recovery, whereas Google is also not in that list. In memory technology, Google and IBM, they are missing, and rest, they are competing from each other in many aspects. Now, particularly talking about container, as we have talked about in the previous video, in which I have explained you about Docker services, and Kubernetes. So, container is one of the most rapidly evolving area of the evolving cloud, where experts has predicted that by 2020, more than 50% of global organization will be running containerized application in production. And all these cloud service provider, they are basically offers some form of container services, but there are some difference in their level of services. For example, Amazon Web Services is considered to be more secure, reliable, scalable, but difficult to use for new developers. Uh, where talking about Azure, which is more intuitive for Windows developers, but does not support hybrid containers. Talking about Google, it is usually first to market with new features and least expensive as compared to other. Similarly, when it comes to the comparison of cloud storage services, undoubtedly Amazon Web Services, that is simple storage service S3, is the best known of all the cloud storage services. However, understanding the different storage classes, different prices, and different level of fault tolerance can be complicated. Whereas Microsoft and Google have equally reliable and robust service. However, in order to conduct a like for like comparison of cloud storage services, it is necessary to understand what the different cloud storage classes are. Some of the service features are block storage volume, which are the unit of storage attached to a virtual machine. They can be either locally or network attached and are treated as an independent disk drive. Other can be object storage volume, which store most type of data, which can be replicated across different region and zone for durability and accessed by simple web services interfaces. And many other such as infrequent access storage, archive storage, hybrid storage, and file storage system. Now, the question arises how the cloud service provider calculating the cost of any cloud storage services. Students, remember to include the cost, we have to consider put, post, copy, and get request to account for minimum capacity charges or minimum duration charges. Well, to understand cost calculation for storage in Amazon Web Services, I am going to show you a small video.
Data transfer. Data transfer is a bit more involved, but I'm going to help simplify this for you. Let's take a look. One thing to keep in mind is that a video created with a resolution of 720p will require around zero point 0.9 gigabytes, almost a gigabyte, of data transfer per hour, and 1080p will require around 1.5 gigabytes per hour. That said, let's do a little math. Let's say that you create 10 hours of 1080p video for your online course where you have 25 students. What would your monthly charge be? To calculate the storage portion, you simply tally up the number of gigabytes of all your videos. If you've not created video yet, but you know that you'll likely be creating, let's say, 10 hours of video, here's your formula. The recommended bit rate for 1080p is 8 megabits per second, but it may vary depending on your preference. That said, we will take the 8 megabit and multiply it by 3,600 seconds. So 8 megabits times 3,600 seconds is equal to 28,800 megabits. If we convert that to gigabytes, we simply divide that number by 8,000, which gives us 3.6 gigabytes per file size for a 1 hour 1080p video. Now we just multiply that number by 10, since we will have 10 1-hour videos, which leaves us with 36. So now we simply fill in our storage number. Now for the data transfer. Remember, 1080p requires 1.5 gigabytes of data transfer per hour. 10 hours of video at 1.5 gigabyte is equal to 15 gigabytes per student per month. Now we need to take that number and multiply it by number of students, which is 25, which would leave us with 375 gigabytes of data transfer per month. If we plug that number into our calculator, our monthly price is now $34.55. Not bad for hosting 35 gigabytes of video, right? Okay, so let's say that you know you will likely have students coming in globally from around the world into your membership or course site. This means you'll likely want to take advantage of CloudFront to deliver those videos up at lightning speed. If we use the Amazon CloudFront calculator, all we have to do is plug in a few numbers that we already know. Data transfer out is going to be 375 gigabytes. So punch that number in. Average object size is 3.6 gigabytes, which is the size of each video. But we need to convert that down to kilobytes. To do so, we simply multiply by 1 million. So basically, it would be 3.6 million. Then if we split the cost 4 ways to the US, Europe, India, and South America, we will be charged roughly $55.32, which brings the grand total to $89.87. Now, if you are bootstrapped, I know that you are trying to keep your costs down. However, this is actually very affordable when you consider that 25 students could potentially be paying around, let's just say, $200 each for your online course, which gives you about $5,000 in income. And if you continue to enroll more students, the price of your S3 bill will slightly increase, but it will do so in proportion to the number of students watching your videos. And that's how you determine how much it will cost to host your video on AWS.
I hope you understand the storage cost calculation in Amazon Web Services, which is very economical for large storage of data. Students, in our next slide, we are going to discuss the main game changer or the leaders in cloud service provider. In this particular image, it is known as a magic quadrant for cloud infrastructure as a service worldwide. You can see it is divided into 4 main parts, and that's why it is known as a quadrant for cloud infrastructure, where you can see the main leaders in cloud service providers are Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google cloud platform, whereas the niche players are Alibaba, IBM, and Oracle. So, all in all, the major player in cloud computing services you can see is Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, and Google. That's all for today. We'll see you in the next lecture.